Well, thank you very much for staying with us here. We're going to follow this program with a very interesting fireside chat today with Dr. Kanat Kudai-Bergen. You are the founder and chief executive officer of Grey Wolf Management. Maybe for those that don't know about Grey Wolf, it might be interesting for you to introduce the company itself, first and foremost. Can you tell us about Grey Wolf?
So Grey Wolf, it's some young company in Kazakhstan, based on company in Kazakhstan. So firstly, we are industrial consultancy company. We provide all of these consultants every stage from exploration until metallurgical processing. Second thing, we are subsoil users. We work in mainly in exploration site, and we try to push and to put a lot of efforts to develop junior mining sector in Kazakhstan. And in that reason, we obtain our exploration license, and we consider third part or some private license. And then third thing, we consider to launch maybe as a source of financing some private equity fund as a instruments. So it's our main business, and we are working in whole Central Asia.
As you were mentioning, yes, you're working across Central Asia, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan also. We even mentioned Afghanistan, if I'm not wrong. Can you tell us about the wealth, the geological wealth of the region? What is the main minerals that you can find there, and how it could be maybe plugged in or linked with the Middle East and Saudi Arabia particularly?
So, Central Asia in situation in mining sector, it's a very similar in Saudi Arabia situation. Okay. Because, for example, Kazakhstan, every time when you ask what is Kazakhstan, it's oil and gas mainly, as a Saudi Arabia. And 6-7 years ago, we have launched a new legislation, and our mining sector obtained a second wind about developing the mining sector, mainly in, I think, junior mining sector. Because according to our ministry, industrial ministry reports, only 35% our territory was explored before, and we have a huge opportunity, more than 75% in our territory. So, and it's a very similar situation also our neighbor countries. Very huge opportunity in Uzbekistan, in Kyrgyzstan, in Tajikistan, even in Afghanistan. It's also, I think, after stabilization of situation in future, it should be one of the mining centers in the world.
I mean, you did mention that potential in Central Asia. Now, how do we actually, incentivize investment towards the region so that there would be a growing ecosystem and we can harvest those geological wealth in Kazakhstan specifically?
Its system is very virgin, because we don't have any stock exchange as in Canada or in Australia, but we just creating this infrastructure system to attract the financing, for example, for junior mining company, for explorations. And second thing, it's to develop some stock exchange market also. I think since establishing Astana International Financial Center, we can solve it step by step in this issue also. It gives more opportunity to develop whole this region based on this AIFC and the Kazakhstan legislation, some infrastructure.
Okay. I mean, we mentioned a little bit of the ecosystem, mining ecosystem in Kazakhstan, a lot of junior mining companies. What are the main interesting opportunities to invest in junior mining companies, especially in Kazakhstan?
Actually in the world, junior mining companies, nowadays they take huge role of some, I think it's some impulse of developing the mining sector. Because a lot of last 10 years, a lot of biggest mining deposits were discovered by junior mining companies. And when we would like to develop mining sector, we should develop junior mining sector, because big players they look for mainly brownfield projects. But unfortunately, in this time, we don't have any brownfield projects. I think in world-class classified deposits.
Okay.
And junior mining companies, it gives more opportunity to push, diversify all of the mining sector to develop the deposits, discovering deposits, and to provide all of the big players with a good tier 1 world classified deposits.
Okay. Still focusing maybe on Kazakhstan and Central Asia more generally, what are the main steps or reforms that could be done to enhance the mining sector in those countries in terms of state regulations or in terms of capacity for investment? What are the main steps that could be done?
Actually, to obtain a license in Kazakhstan nowadays quite easy. We have launched a CRISCO system, first come first serve. Our report system, like KazRC, it's very similar for GRC report system, and I think all of the efforts our government should give some impulse to developing this sector nowadays. It's a very similar situation with Saudi Arabia, very similar, because we have launched a new legislation, database, geological some surveys, and we provide information and attract a lot of junior mining companies, foreign and local investors to put effort to develop this sector. I think it's a second wind, I think in boom in the market. According to some geopolitical situation in our region, a lot of focus in Central Asia nowadays, because European companies, they also look for source of rare earths, critical minerals. Some West companies, also Chinese companies from Japan. A lot of companies nowadays, they look for a good potential, good projects in mining sector in Kazakhstan. I think it gives good opportunity to push this developing in our country.
You mentioned geopolitical situation. I'm very interested in it. Before we talk about that, we're here in Saudi Arabia. So what are the similarities or the synergies between Central Asia and Saudi Arabia? I mean, whether in terms of the mining sector itself, but I know Grey Wolf is also very interesting in engaging with Saudi Arabia. So what are the next steps from your perspective?
We are going to establish a company in Saudi Arabia to start from industrial consultancy. But in future, we consider some opportunities to obtain a license and to develop, to participate in junior mining sector. Actually, we are working just in exploration stage. We obtain some license in greenfield stage, and we until estimating of reserves. After that, we go out from this project because it's our main business. It's a high risk, but it gives very good, I think, incomes for company. And we consider Saudi Arabia market as a very good anchor place to develop this business also.
Very good. As I was mentioning, the geopolitical situation is very interesting to analyze in Central Asia. We've seen a more and more independence from Kazakhstan towards Russia, presence of new players. as a French citizen, I see Orano being very much present in Kazakhstan, or President Macron going on a regular basis. But where do you see this evolution of different actors coming to Kazakhstan, and what does that mean for the potential of the country?
No, actually we keep our own position, our government, and we support full support all of the decisions UN, and in that reason, a lot of companies from West Europe and from South America, they are working in Kazakhstan.
Okay.
I think we don't have any problems with this, because we have our own political decisions, and our government provide everything, every support to develop, to attract to create some very good investment environment in Kazakhstan. And the second thing, we after this situation, it gives more opportunity for Kazakhstan and Central Asia, because a lot of big players come to Kazakhstan, to our neighbor brother countries, and they try to develop and to participate in this sector. And obviously, we are, as a strategic partner of and a neighbor country of Russia, we also have our good, I think, relations with them, and with Russian companies, with Russian business, and we just our government keeps some neutrality and some own position according to UN decisions.
Okay. You mentioned the presence of many international companies, such as, as far as Latin America, and I invested in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
You and I talked about
Sure.
potential interest from Middle Eastern investors. Can you share with us some success stories of the last few years, of some case that maybe could be replicated by Saudi Arabia in the region?
For example, Kazakhstan, it's historically it's a mining country.
Yeah.
Since 19th century, we mine a lot of metals and minerals. So, in that case, we provide all of these minerals international market, and number of big players, they work in Kazakhstan. I think they nowadays they develop their business in Kazakhstan. For example, Rio Tinto company, Glencore, Fortescue Metallurgical Group, and big holdings from Turkey, and the number of companies from Middle East also, from GCC. I think it gives more opportunity some to develop the whole economic, because China is one of the biggest market in the world. It's our neighbor country. we don't have any logistic problems with them.
If we look at the difference inside the Central Asia between Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, can you explain us a little bit what is maybe the country which is the easiest to operate in, some of the key differences between those countries for mining operators and investors?
I think little bit it's a similar situation, because we are former Soviet Union republics, and the mining sector, we more than 30 years we didn't explore and didn't discover something big new, and nowadays all of these countries launched new legislations in KRISKA system, and we also try to develop in mining sector in a whole region, because we have very strong relations between these countries, and it's some similar situation. However, in Kazakhstan we have some infrastructures for attractive financing, for launching of some new legislation. But nowadays also Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, our neighbor countries, they also launch new codes and the new politics in mining sector. And all of these governments, they try to develop the mining sector actually.
We're arriving close to the end of the time that we have for this session, but maybe I just wanted to look at the audience if there was a specific question from anyone on Kazakhstan or Central Asia. But if it's not the case, I'm just going to ask you if you don't mind to join me to thank Dr. Nuratu for the presentation of Central Asia and Kazakhstan in particular. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.